Today I want to talk about the true account in Luke 16. The story starts at verse number 19 about the rich man and the beggar, Lazarus. I'm going to start reading at verse number 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and he was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us, that would comfort us. And he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. If we go back and look at verse 23 and 24, it talks about how the rich man is in so much torment, pain, and anguish, that he's crying out and begging for just a drop of water. People today, they don't really think about hell. They don't think it's a real place. They think whenever you try to give them the gospel that they're going to just have a big old party in hell. It's going to be them and their friends and the devil. It's going to be great. But that's not true. The Bible describes hell in many places, and it describes it as a fiery place of torment and anguish. And hell torments people so much that in verse 27 to 31, we see that the rich man is asking that Lazarus be sent back from the dead to preach the gospel to his brothers, so that they will not be suffering in hell as he is. There are people in hell right now praying, as we see in those verses. Some Christians don't even pray, but people in hell are. And they're praying for someone to preach the gospel to their unsaved family members. And we have that opportunity and responsibility. God has given us, saved believers, the ministry of reconciliation. It is our job to go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature, so that no one dies without at least having heard the gospel. And I just want to say, in this film that we saw, people in the U.S., I was thinking about this, we, like Squish said, we have the freedom and opportunity to go to anybody we want, anyone we wish, and offer them the gospel, have them try. But people, where they're oppressed and they know that they'll be killed and taken to prison for it, they do it anyway. If we look back at verse number 26, we see in this verse that there are people in heaven that want to pass from heaven to hell to save people and pull them out of the fire. That's right. In heaven, we'll be able to see people we tried to give the gospel to and they rejected it. But even worse, we'll be able to see those who we had an opportunity, but we didn't even bother to give them the gospel. Our co-workers, friends, family members, and just everyday people that we see. But there's a great gulf fixed, and once we are in heaven or hell, it's too late. But right now, on earth, we have the responsibility and opportunity to rescue people from hell through the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's why right now, it's so important to go out soul winning and give the gospel and preach to whomever we can. We make excuses as to why we can't give the gospel to people. We're too busy, we're afraid, or shy, we don't feel like it, or just whatever the reason is. But in heaven, we'll all wish that we would have done more. Yes. That's all I have to say.
Greatest soul winners ever are in hell right now.